right.
Now we're on YouTube.
Streaming
Listen,
on
YouTube, you need to know that Hannah is so sweet.
That's
That's the
all
only thing you've missed out on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super sweet.
And now you're caught up. You're welcome.
I wonder if having this window open strains my connection. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. Oh no, I don't want to close that. I'm scared of it now. Hey,
What?
welcome to. I don't know what to introduce this as. At some point, we will be segueing into the Grawlix podcast, but we'll start off in Grawlix Nights mode. Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
All right, we're doing audio only YouTube. I'm sorry, as you can see.
Or can't see.
right. But here's what's the plan. Here's what we're doing tonight. We'll probably vamp a little bit, but the main attraction is we're going to be doing. This will be the first like group review of a comic book we've done in a while, but we'll be discussing Absolute Batman Volume 1, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, it's.
I read 6 whole issues of a comic today.
Today?
Did you read it today?
Yeah. Oh yeah, today.
Yeah.
That was the other upside of having the day off. I was like, I'll actually get this done.
Yeah.
I had, Batman. I can't give up on my Batman. I had a debate. We don't have to get into stuff. We talked a lot about it before we went live. But it's like, so, okay, I'm boycotting Disney stuff. That knocks a lot of Marvel stuff out. And really, I should also probably be boycotting DC after some decisions they made last week. I was like, I'm not going to have anything to talk about on Grawlix if I'm not consuming any of this media. But you know what?
I was gonna like shoot you guys a text and be like, "Are we still doing the show tonight?" Because like current events and what Batman's up to, it could take us some dark places.
You know what? I wish we would have been able to get further. I haven't read that. I haven't read beyond this in Absolute Batman, but I do know there was somebody posted a page or a frame or a whatever image from an upcoming or recent issue, and it's Batman fighting basically the Klan, just a whole group of white supremacist dudes. And I was like, all right, Scott Snyder, I see you. I'm excited to get there.
Careful, or your book will get canceled.
Yeah.
Right. But that don't mean anything.
And I'm not even. I'm actually referencing comic stuff with that reference. I'm actually talking about comic stuff.
I don't know what you guys are talking about with the Batman thing, but that's okay. I don't need to.
I was reading something not long ago about Swamp Thing. There was famously that issue of Swamp Thing, and I don't think it was Alan Moore stuff, but it was I can't remember his name. I think he's writing it for a long time just after Alan Moore. But where Swamp Thing meets Jesus, or is that the like crucifixion or something?
Was that a Tom King move?
No, it was much older than that. But it was famously like a banned issue that never got released.
Sure.
Because it was Swamp Thing at the crucifixion.
Look, even the Beatles can't talk about Jesus.
Right.
Nobody can talk about Jesus.
But apparently that is going to be finally getting released in, I think, a collection, perhaps. And I was a little surprised.
Talk about Jesus now.
Right. You talk about Jesus.
The war on Jesus is over.
No, you have to call him Jesus, though.
No, you don't.
The war on Jesus is over.
Then it's all kosher. Yeah.
Kosher.
Mm-hmm.
We stop the conversation right there.
Mixing
We're not political.
Okay.
We're not political. That's our like. If we ever make merch again, if we ever make like stickers again, it's gonna be like the Grawlix podcast. We're not political.
We're not political.
With a little wink.
Yeah. yeah.
I do like the idea of selling, like it being a selling point for the show. Like, tune in. We're not political. And then
you get here.
We just keep doing what we do.
We're like dancing around the politics the whole time.
Yeah.
With our cats.
And we just say it. We just say we're not political. It's all not political pizza. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like that's an ironclad, like loophole. Anytime anybody complains, I'll be like, "What are you talking about? We even said we're not political on the show."
That's it, man. You just got, it's like the disclaimer. He's like, listen, if you came here for your politics, you're wrong.
you're
not
you're wrong.
Political. Starting with you're wrong helps, I think.
Well, real quick, do we have anything else we want to like? Oh, I shouldn't minimize that window. Do we have anything? So this might be a slightly awkward show. If you happen to be listening live, we'll do our normal stuff, but we are going to like segue into, it's going to be the same. We're just going to review Batman. I'm going to cut that snippet out and make that an audio podcast, but you'll hear us angling towards like trying to figure out how to awkwardly start a Grawlix podcast episode again.
Oh yeah.
Do
We're
we have
always
to-
really good at that every time we've tried.
Do we have to do in the futures and stuff?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
No, we stopped that at episode
99.
99.999.
Yeah. I wish we're definitely not. So here's the idea: monthly episodes going on the podcast feed. I definitely won't fall off that. I swear. Stay tuned for. Stay tuned. We're still
ironclad. He said it.
We're still building up to the return of RTD era 2. Stay tuned, audio feed.
Can't wait until that happens. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
I just want to see what movies. I haven't really watched. Ironically, I do have one movie I want to mention that I watched. Oh, was this since last? Yeah. I watched this last weekend, called The Late Shift, and it was about the Tonight Show, and it was about
no,
David Letterman and Jay Leno, who was going to get the Tonight Show after Johnny left.
Oh,
and it was a HBO movie made 1995 about this whole thing, which was like 93, 92. So I've had Tonight Show comedians on my mind apparently this whole last week. Yeah. I should watch a movie about a president getting impeached this weekend. See what happens. Anyway,
Nixon. Oh, that'd be,
yeah.
I don't know.
There's got to be some tricky dick movies for sure. There
is, but I don't know that it was good. Was that an Oliver Stone joint?
Oh yeah, probably.
It was a Nixon movie.
There's that one with what's her name? The chick that was married to Heath Ledger, and then the girl that was in Interview with Vampire. I can't remember their names.
Kirsten.
Yeah, Kirsten Dunstan. Whatever that chick's name is, she was in Dawson's Creek too. You know who I'm talking about?
Katie Holmes?
No, the other one.
Oh,
she was married to Heath Ledger.
Okay, yeah,
or had his baby at least.
Anthony Hopkins played Nixon.
That would be a guy that played Nixon. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, it was okay. The movie I watched, The Late Shift. If you're, it's an interesting time capsule because I'm kind of fascinated by that aspect of TV, but it's also like I like industry, like entertainment industry movies, stuff behind the scenes type stuff. I like that kind of stuff. Yeah, The Late Shift. I watched that. There's not really anything else to say about it. I gave it 2.5. It's like very middle of the road because stylistically it was very bland.
Is that why you like Ed Wood? Because you like behind the scenes stuff?
I mean, yeah, kind of. Ed Wood has extra appeal, but yeah, sure. I like Hollywood movies about Hollywood, movies about the entertainment industry, TV movies. Sorry, go ahead.
I like when they had the movies where the little things will pop up and be like, "Ooh, in 1842 when this was made," or not 18. I mean, you know, it'll give you like facts about the movie. I like those ones. They used to do that. Remember?
Like pop-up video.
Yeah, like they pop up little facts about the movie as you're watching it.
Would they do that with movies too?
They did do that with movies too on certain channels.
Pop-up
like
videos.
one channel.
They kind of, that was a feature they played with for Blu-ray at first, right? Or was it
Oh,
HD
probably.
DVD?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Like one of the high definition formats. That was one of the things that they were like. It was in like an overlay option or something. Like they tried to get fun with Blu-ray, and I don't know that it ever took off. Like people are just like, we just want our movies and our extra features, but we don't really want overlays on our movie. We'll just look at our phone during the movie.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I like the overlay, and I like when they have Arnold Schwarzenegger specifically talking in the background. He's like, "Look, I'm gonna do this. I did it! I did it!"
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
his
like
commentaries
I
are
like a
great.
good commentary track. You
Yeah.
know,
His commentaries are great.
Weird Al Yankovic's commentary throughout UHF, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the commentaries with some of the John Carpenter movies are really good because the Thing commentary is kind of like classic movie commentary at this point because it's John Carpenter and Kurt Russell just getting hammered. You could hear them, the bottles clinking. They're just getting hammered watching
Perfect.
The Thing, laughing at some of the prosthetic effects and stuff like that. And then the Halloween commentary with John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis is like a completely different vibe because she just kind of dominates it. It's like, I don't know, at that point, John Carpenter's like, I don't know, in dad mode, but not like saying dad like things. He's like she just keeps talking and she's like, okay, old man type deal. Like, I don't know. It's such a weird dynamic. I don't know. They're fun though. We've mentioned this several times. I wish it'd be so easy for them to do commentaries. I guess there's just, they feel it's not worth the like paying a director and a star or whatever to come in and to record it, but
They'd probably do it for
It's
free.
always been one of my favorite things about like the Doctor Who DVDs when they would get released is like you'd listen to, they'd have multiple, you know, they'd have like the script editor do a commentary track, or they'd have like the cast. Like the cast was always fun because they'd be like, oh, I remember this, you know, that kind of thing, and be like, oh, that was the day you were really sick or something, you know, like you'll get weird tidbits that normally wouldn't be noteworthy.
I feel like go ahead. No, you.
Okay, I remember when they had new like big movies on HBO or Cinemax or whatever, and they'd have like before the movie came out, they'd have the little like making of type thing.
Oh
They'd
yeah,
talk about that kind of stuff, and I always loved those. But I guess maybe anymore it wouldn't be as fun, maybe because so much is digital or whatever that you just be watching some guy on the computer, which could still be interesting, I suppose. But
I feel like that specifically is because they would do that partially as like promotion, like it's coming up, you should watch this, and it's smart. It's smart double duty as like interesting behind the scenes stuff, but also like a promotional piece for the movie. Now they just have the actors do Hot Ones or whatever random internet show, and then
HBO still does like inside this episode, like after the credits.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
I never watched.
They're like the one place that still does it, you know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should support that more.
Now they do like listen to the official podcast. That's what they do now.
I'm less interested in that, and I don't know.
Yeah, they'd have to put it before it comes out, or I'm not going to watch it. Like they did that thing about The Walking Dead after The Walking Dead. I never watched an episode of that. That was
stupid. Oh yeah, The Talking Dead. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Why I never watched those.
Because after you sit through a whole movie, you don't want to watch anything else. Give me a little bit before the movie, and I'm all about it.
And generally, no. And generally, it's not that interesting. Like, I don't know. Most people, I think, don't necessarily. They just want like the fun or friendly banter with people that were in it or whatever. They don't really want like technical or behind the scenes. Here's how we did this. Like that. That's always the stuff I generally.
I like that stuff.
I like it too.
Especially
House of the Dragons actually did a whole like another series about just that, and I didn't actually watch that show. I just watched the inside this episode bits.
Right. I do want to mention. Let's see. I'm just running through my like what would normally be. What else you consume? The only other thing of note, and I don't want to get too much into it because really I talked about it last week, was I read a little bit more of that Batman Dark Patterns.
Yeah.
And the third arc, I can't even remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's basically, it's the word for that thing our brain does where it tries to make patterns and faces out of things. You know, like when you see a face in a pattern, looks, that's the name of the arc. But it was the best so far. It was the third arc in the whatever, and it got grisly, and I love it. I love me a grisly, dark Batman who it comes in and is trying to like. It's one of those. This is slight spoilers, but it's one of those things where he's like investigating this like murder, and in the end, because he just shouldn't have. He just shouldn't have got involved, and people died because he was involved. And I was like,
"Oh,
that's a dark Batman story." And he ended up leaving like, was a mistake. This was all a mistake. So I'm curious to see where it goes from there. But it was a really good arc. Anyway, just had some love for that comic because that's about like the only thing I'm really reading right now. Have to read more into indie comics. Not Valiant though.
What did I watch? I watched something that also was touching on politics called Hillbilly.
Hillbilly.
It was a documentary in 2018, and so this was hot off of the Trump Hillary showdown, which we also call an election.
Right.
But I mean, like they kind of, I don't know. There was a little bit of a stretch to it where it was like they were kind of tying like Hillary's comments about deplorables into it, and it was like, I don't know that that's what she was implying. That just like because you live in coal country, you're one of the deplorables. But that's how some of them took it. That's how some of them took it. So it's like, I get it. And it was, but I mean, like it was. Yes, this is coal country, so like their livelihood depends on the coal mines, and so Trump being so adamantly in support of coal, his message rang truer to them than like Hillary would come in and be like, "We're gonna help you pivot into clean energy." I'm like, "Look, I'm really interested in helping you pivot away from your livelihood." And like that just falls on deaf ears. It's like she may be coming from the right, like her heart or mind at least might be in the right place, but that was always her issue. Is she was never good at messaging. She was never good at connecting.
She just be like, "Hey, you want to stop having black lung and all these other health problems? Let's transition into some other stuff instead of relying on this one industry that's dying." I mean,
they'd be like, "No,
right?"
Because Trump is going to do clean coal. They're going to scrub that coal clean. It's going to be the cleanest coal. Remember that clean coal crap? What was that? We're not political. This is not a political show.
No,
we are not political. But this movie was a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a little bit, but like it didn't stay there. But it was like, oh man, I really didn't come to this documentary for this. But then like it got into like Deliverance. The movie Deliverance.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Like, caught you up on some of the like characters in Deliverance and whatnot. And like the one guy got paid almost nothing for his role in Deliverance. And it's one of the most iconic, like one of the most iconic characters in the whole thing. So it was just interesting. I've been interested in this lately, particularly because I have like a RPG setting that's called the Holler, and then so it takes place in a holler.
Okay.
And,
interesting.
So you got kind of that hillbilly, but it's like an Appalachian horror type setting or a post-apocalyptic Appalachian setting, and so it's like there's the big boy, they call them the big boys, but it's basically the coal companies that come in and buy up all the land, and then the rest of the people are just left to fend. And then the people who work for the coal companies are just, like they're kind of conscripted in a way. You're like wage slaves almost. Yeah. And so it's just made me think of things like, was it October Sky? Like that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, which I hadn't seen in forever. And I didn't like revisit it or anything, but it made me think of that movie. And then I've been listening to an audiobook called Demon Copperhead. And it's like, whew, it's another one of those just dramatic books that basically follow a character through his life. And it's just like, man, could it get any rougher for this kid? You know, like he starts out with a mom, but then his mom, you know, basically ODs, and then he's like passed through the foster system. And then at the point that I'm in right now, he's run away, and he's been like working for some shady character off the books, but he had like maybe $300 to his name, and then it all gets stolen by some hooker.
Okay.
Basically it's her word against his, and she's an adult, and he's like, you know, maybe 12 or 13, that kind of deal. And so he just gets robbed on his first day out on the road kind of deal. And so, yeah, I've been ingesting some of that. The Hillbilly documentary, I would give it like maybe like a 2 stars. It was good, but I don't see myself ever revisiting it, you know. I would say maybe 2.5 stars for the initial viewing, but the watchability knocks it back down to a 2 for me.
Right. Okay.
Or rewatchability.
Normally I wouldn't mention it because we didn't finish it. We will eventually, but we did watch a documentary. We watched part of a documentary.
Yeah.
Then we had to like take a break, and we just haven't gone back to it yet. It's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. It's called Listers, and it is about bird watching. And I only know about it because it was some random Google News pops up random stuff. And recently I found a couple like good anime shows through random Google News things it decides I should see. But this was it's a documentary about essentially these brothers, these kind of stoner guys who decide, seems like on a whim, they're going to get into bird watching real hard and travel across the country for a full year and do the big year it's called in bird watching, in birding.
Oh man,
and,
we're gonna do like a whole year. It's gonna be great. Big bird year. Get it? Like it's like a big bird.
Like they just do van life and travel around.
Did you see that bird, man?
Yeah.
But yeah, they get
into it. Like halfway through, he's like, I mean, it started this kind of like a joke, but now it's like I get mad if I don't find a new bird every day.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny.
Wow.
The whole thing, the whole thing that caught my eye is something about like it being the funniest comedy documentary. I'm like, what's a comedy documentary?
A comedy documentary, yeah.
And it's not a documentary about comedy; it's a documentary about bird watching. And I'm like, okay, we got to check this out.
So it's just funny because these are how these guys really react to birds,
right?
Yeah.
We watched over an hour of it, but it's 2 hours. It's a solid 2 hours. So we had to
just be like, another crackle.
Right.
It's a starling. Ugh.
And you know, they'd meet up with other like people, other birders who are into birding.
Oh, yeah. It's like
I've been doing it hardcore for years. And
my neighbor birds.
Yeah.
And now he's retired, so he's like into like rock polishing.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Hit the classic.
Yeah, I walked by and I like he's like looking at his river rocks and in his flower bed, or like the flower bed in the front yard, and I caught him looking at his own rocks, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm looking for rocks."
All right.
I just think it's funny.
Why not?
Like,
sure.
Hey man, you're retired. You do you.
Yeah,
you earned it.
Whatever brings you joy. Anything else before we dive into Batman?
Not really. No. I've been watching some Star Trek, but I haven't gotten through that season yet. So, yeah, just plugging through.
We canceled Disney Plus and Hulu and HBO Max, but I'll probably pick up HBO Max after it actually runs out. But it just renewed like last week, so we have it till next month still.
Sure.
But Alien Earth continues to be good. Really
Oh,
liking that. Melanie and I just finally finished the most recent season of Rick and Morty because we had to wait till it aired and then hit streaming. I like this season a lot. It was fun.
Mhm.
They really did. I was really torn on this last season, the season before, where Rick was in I think it was the first season with the new voice actors. Am I?
Yeah. Yeah. I only watched like a couple. Like this would be a good weekend for me to maybe get caught up on it. But like the only one I really saw, and it was good, but it was like, I don't know, was the Hugh Jackman episode, the very first one.
Right.
Oh,
With
yeah.
Yeah.
I was real torn on last season. Like there's good episodes, but they had a very clear, definitive like agenda with Rick where he's going to be bummed out, and he totally has a character arc, like a very specific arc. And I feel like that was just setting it up so that this season they can like just have fun. And not to say there's not heavy episodes, because the show loves to like kind of get emotional on you.
Oh yeah.
But overall, the season was a lot of fun. There were a lot of like, there's an episode that started, and I'm like, are we going to get a Space Beth adventure? And we did. And I thought it was great. I like Space Beth. And then it's like, are we going to get a Space Beth and Beth adventure? Yeah, and you do. You get a Space Beth and Beth adventure. That's fun.
Beth heavy this time.
Yeah, but it was great.
Bit.
Did they?
There's lots of good stuff.
Previously establish that Beth as a child was a maniac, or is that new like lore?
I feel like that's new.
Okay.
I guess they kind of hint that she's kind of in the vein of Rick, that she's not that far off. But
well, we'll just say there's an episode where there's two like 10-year-old Beths running around, and they're murderous maniacs, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Anyway, I really like this recent season of Rick and Morty.
Me as well.
That's the main stuff we've been watching.
Yeah. And Peacemaker and
Peacemaker.
But we're
I still haven't caught up on that. I've only watched the first episode. I fully intend to, but it's just one that Holly doesn't care about, so I gotta wait until she.
It's always nice when your partner likes your stuff. Sorry, Randy.
You like most of the stuff. No, you're great. I mean, I don't want to make generalizations, but you do not have the common taste. You do not have
the common taste.
The taste of. You don't have the same taste as most women.
Okay, yeah,
And
I agree.
It's great.
Well, was it Brendan Lee Mulligan has to watch The Housewives because Izzy's into it?
Right.
Like, there you go.
And there's not really hardly anything like that with Melanie.
Yeah, horror and sci-fi are my genres. So that's
right.
There you go.
But there are stuff that she does not like that I like to watch. But
yeah, that's true. I don't like comedy as much as he does. I don't think. I don't want to laugh. I want to scream.
I want to laugh sometimes. I was watching earlier today. I just discovered I'd never watched any of them. Narrative Telephone on the Critical Role YouTube channel. Apparently, it was a series they did a bunch during like the pandemic, and then they brought it back. I don't know, this last year or so, and it's like a game of telephone where somebody like says something to somebody and then pass it on. Well, it starts with somebody comes up with a story, like a short story,
right?
And then the next person gets to watch that video, the recording of the story, but only once, and then they have to recollect the story. And then the next person watches their video only once and has to recollect it. And it goes through like 8 people. So that by the end, most of the time, the first person usually puts a ton of details in there. And then by the end, it's like whittled down to like 2 or 3 details that might have kind of been retained. Everything else is gone or totally warped.
Or they add completely new stuff in.
Or occasionally they add just completely new details in.
There's a gong. Like, what? What's that to do with anything?
It's a lot of fun. I was watching a bunch of those earlier today. It's a recommend. It's on the Critical Role channel. I'd never noticed them before. Watch the Matthew Mercer episode where he starts off the story. He went too hard.
Who is this?
Mark.
You mean Mark?
Mark Mercer.
Okay. It's my favorite.
I mean, not that that's extremely niche, but I love that most people are going to be like, "What? What are you guys talking about?" Yeah. Anyway, good stuff. Should we segue into?
Yeah, probably. Got to get this party started.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh. Okay, I really don't know how to set this up other than we're going to be doing Grawlix podcast now. And how would I start it? Be like, welcome to Grawlix podcast episode.
I don't think you ever brought that energy.
Yeah.
No, you did. You did.
I do remember it would like explode.
Yeah.
Explosive.
Well, you were like 10 years younger, so
Yeah, that's true.
It's insane that it's
Yeah.
pretty true. Yeah. Episode. God, it feels wrong to do it, but episode 101, 101. Are we numbering these proper?
I guess
I
so.
mean, like I thought we decided we were going to stop putting numbers on them, but
Yeah, no numbers.
Season
because
2.
I mean, like look at all these like we'd have to go into legacy numbering and whatnot, and
You know what? No,
that was
we'll
just always confusing. We're
we'll
just
do
like, welcome to Grawlix podcast episode 1.
I was gonna say we could just do like podcast and be like episode 0.
All new Grawlix podcast episode 1.
Well, all new makes it different. The spectacular Grawlix podcast.
Yeah.
Giant size Grawlix podcast. Except not
Absolute Grawlix podcast.
Welcome to Absolute Grawlix podcast episode 1, where we talk about only comics that have absolute in the title. Tonight, Absolute Batman. Yeah, okay. Hey, audio listeners, audio feed listeners in the future, we're back.
Oh hell.
It's been a while since you heard us, and ignore that Doctor Who stuff that is on the feed.
Yeah, that's gonna go to Patreon.
It did.
Go to Patreon.
I like the idea of like, I just dropped that thread of like, y'all, the Doctor Who coming up, and we're gonna talk about the new RTD era when it starts.
We're gonna
gaslighting
record it all.
All that stuff went up on Patreon. You better get over there, and then none of it's there.
Yeah,
it's up. I mean, you just have to go to YouTube and you can watch the live streams. But
yeah.
Anyway, here's what's going on. We're back. My hope is to maintain this. Actually, have audio episodes going out once a month, in which we actually talk about comic books. And so what we've
more like once a month ish. That's a Grawlix Nights jokes.
Yeah,
it is. So, and how we're gonna do it, this will hopefully help us keep it engaged. Is every month one of us will alternate between us. We'll pick a comic, a trade, and we'll review that on the next episode.
So it's kind of like the poll list, only Maddie D's not the only one voting.
Yeah, Maddie D. Yeah, I was gonna
Maddie
say
D doesn't get a vote.
I was gonna say Maddie D kind of got shafted because we never covered Exo Man of War, but then again, we probably covered a whole lot that he voted for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, Maddie D, on the off chance
Thank
you
you,
decide to
Maddie D.
check this
You
out.
exposed us to all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Stop exposing yourself to us.
Well, go back and listen to the episode of the middle-aged movie review where we talk about RoboCop.
Yeah.
If you want more exposure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, we've seen a lot of exposure that episode too. They're not going to be able to see any of that on the podcast, but
no.
So okay, it's been a while. We're a little rusty. It's been a while since we did a whole group comic book review. But let me set the scene here. Here's what we're talking about. Absolute Batman Volume 1, The Zoo. This is the trade paperback that collects Absolute Batman issues 1 through 6. The trade was released August 5th, which is approximately the time I come up with this idea, based solely on the fact that I seen Scott Snyder hawking the trade, and I was like, I need to get back into Batman. Written by Scott Snyder, art by Nick Dragotta, colorist Frank Martin, except for part 4 or issue 4. The art was by Gabriel Hernandez Walta, The plot is credited as Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta, and the script by Scott Snyder. Colorist still Frank Martin.
Okay.
There's the technical facts. Now this is, they don't call them Elseworlds Tales anymore, really. They're not really doing Elseworlds, but it is not a canon Batman. And it's very clear once you get into this that they're doing something different.
Yeah.
This is blue collar Batman. I'm not sure how to start this, so I'll do it like we've been doing most other reviews. What did you know anything going into this? What did you think of it? What's your impressions?
I knew it was Batman, and I knew it was not, but yes, and I knew it was an alternate Batman. I didn't know what though, and that's about it. And I mean, it was okay. It's not my favorite Batman, but it's all right.
I very similar, especially since people have been kind of comparing, or you like Marvel brought back their Ultimate Universe, so it's kind of in that vein where it's like it is, but it isn't kind of thing. Like you know things, but they're irrelevant because this is a different universe, and so it's all like Easter eggy and fun, I really enjoyed some of the Easter eggs, and I was just like, boy, wait, Batman knows all these people as a kid, and he's still friends with them, and he plays poker, and they help him out, Like there's all sorts of stuff that's really fun about it, and the twists make it new and fun. And I could see some purists really hating this.
Oh, but, for sure.
It was a lot of fun. I also knew about the symbol. I knew the symbol was kind of bizarre, and even more bizarre once you see it in action. So
that was the first thing I knew about this series, and we talked about it quite a bit on one of the live streams. Because it's big, chonky, ridiculous bat symbol on his chest, but it also it also has utility. As you see, I don't understand how it works exactly.
It makes sense with the character, I mean, it's like armor right off the bat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Whew. Not my best work, but I'll claim it.
So I didn't know I did read the first issue or so a while back. But I didn't, going into that, I didn't know a whole lot about it other than it was Scott Snyder Batman, not canon. I was surprised with kind of how different of a origin it is.
Yeah.
And we can get into that a little bit.
I mean, but he's been working on those Batman metal things for so long that it really shouldn't surprise me that he's still kind of like, oh, well, let's just play with this.
Yeah. Right. I imagine, it's a breath of fresh air for him writing Batman so long. Not that he hasn't consistently shook things up, but still. So, sorry, go ahead.
I would imagine you'd have to be more creative with his weapons and tools and stuff if you don't have the ginormous, trust fund to support whatever the heck your imagination comes up with.
Right. And they kind of address that in a way, story-wise, into this. But even before that, it's still questionable. He's a blue-collar Batman. Bruce Wayne is described as a blue-collar civil engineer. He can still somehow afford to embed a massive honking tank under a elevator shaft in a building. I imagine he helped design the building, I suppose, is the idea. But submarine tank is not cheap. I don't know how you afford that.
I think you're assuming that he bought that. I would think that is not the case.
Oh, maybe a little city funds embezzlement type deal where he's like, oh, this is part of the building. You need to build this. Or,
he just happened to park that vehicle there and forgot about it. And then later, he remembered.
I do like the idea that he doesn't really have a central bat cave, right?
Right.
He set up shop in the abandoned or in the middle of being built buildings all around, since he's an engineer. That's like his job.
Right.
Well, also, like one of the main shakeups right off the bat is that he's not killed in Crime Alley. He lives in Crime Alley.
Yeah.
So it's almost more of like a Daredevil type of situation where like Daredevil lives in Hell's Kitchen and Batman lives in Crime Alley. But his dad actually dies at the zoo.
Yeah.
And it's just his dad. So we got more of an Aunt May kind of situation with his mom.
Yeah, I feel like that's an interesting change. And his mom, what is she? She's like she works for the mayor.
She a nurse? What is she?
No, she worked for like the mayor's office or something.
Oh, right.
She had some type of job like that.
She's like a assistant deputy something or other, I think.
Yeah.
But she might have been a nurse at some point. I don't know. His dad was a teacher.
Yeah, his dad was a teacher, was gunned down at the hospital, or not the hospital, the zoo, on a zoo like field trip. And so Bruce's like Batman, his bat obsession came from that experience specifically. I like the little like bat facts pictures with the cartoony bat that would pop up every once in a while. That was
bats are crazy.
Bats are crazy. That's the one that really stuck with me.
Well, he won that trip to the zoo through a school thing, I think, where they had to build something based on an animal, and he had based it on a bat, which is ties it all together.
So add an extra layer of guilt onto the already traumatic event.
Right.
I did like that aspect. I mean, not that they never deal with his. I mean, all of Batman is dealing with his like trauma, but I like how they handled it. And Scott Snyder loves to do the thing, and he does it quite a lot here, where most of the time we're bouncing between present day and flashbacks. So we're getting backstory pretty consistently throughout.
Yeah. And guess who ain't gonna work for no poor people? Pennyworth.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Pennyworth is definitely different. That was fun though. It was a fun difference.
Yeah, I liked it.
Got edgy Alfred. He's like kind of like a Black Ops. I know Alfred's like always has like a maybe British military background, but he's like a Black Ops type guy who's working for somebody. I don't recall how much detail they get into it. And for the most part, they just want him to observe the situation in Gotham, because weirdo Sionis and his weird crew, there's a gang, a roving gang that's a problem, and they're just like, there's some grisly details.
They're the party animals.
That's what the party animals. And it's just like, it appears as like random wanton murder. And for the most part it is, but eventually it gets into like why. It's not totally random, but
and they all wore weird masks with info being sent to them.
Well, that's the thing. Spoilers.
Yeah, of course.
They get cash for kills, crypto for kills.
It's like if The Purge was monetized.
Yeah. And I thought that was a good idea. I like that. And it does do the thing. Then I don't know. It's a cynical setup, because it's generally they're all just regular people who are like, okay, yeah, I'll do this for money. I'll murder a baby and her mother in a horrible way. Yeah. There's some grisly descriptions. You don't see a lot of like, I mean, the violence is.
Well, they don't even totally describe it, but they do like imply what happened.
Yeah. Speaking of the violence, Batman has got some edge to him for sure. Yeah. There's he straight up cuts a dude's hand off, and he's like, a hospital. What is he's like, the hospital's that way or that way? Pick one or something. I don't know, some deal like that.
And the one guy, if he didn't kill him, he at least blinded him, because he stuck spikes in through his helmet. So
his bat ears flip forward into like spiky horns.
Oh man.
And he stabs the dude in the eyes. I think it is like he didn't kill him, because the next couple of panels he's dragging the guy behind him.
yeah.
So I think the idea is he didn't kill him, but he definitely blinded the guy.
Well, he even like impaled a dude on his back spikes and then smashes him into an aquarium wall, or like the aquarium glass, like shatters that glass. So this guy like all cut up in the front, all cut up in the back, and probably dropped a shark on him. I don't know.
And he's a pretty young Bruce Wayne, and he's like he's very angry. And again, I know these things are often true about Batman, but like he doesn't have the same cool that you usually see with Batman. He just seems very angry and pent up.
Pretty antisocial too.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he has more friends in this than he does in any other Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
And mention the friends. I like that for the most part, his friends are made up of the main rogues gallery. Like are his childhood friends that are now his poker buddies. Like the Riddler, and
we get we got Oswald, we got Ozzy, we get Killer Croc, we get who else?
Selena.
Pretty much everybody except the Joker.
Right. Yeah, and Selena, who's not around anymore. She left somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
they get more stable and he gets more angry when they're friends.
Oh, Harvey's in there too.
Oh yeah.
And they make all sorts of fun little references to the villains that they would be, in another universe.
Yeah.
And they're not all they're also not all on the up and up, because they talk around like, Bruce Wayne isn't interested in their like more criminal activities. Like, so but they're like maybe small time crooks. They're not like super villains or anything like that. Right. Like small time mob type situation or something, whatever. They're neighborhood guys from poor neighborhood. So they got deals on the side.
That reminds me of Penguin, the one Penguin thing with what's his name? With the kid.
Colin Farrell.
Friends, and then that one.
That might be getting a season 2, possibly. I see headlines. I'm rather surprised, actually.
Me too.
I know I mentioned it every time I brought this comic book up on the show. Batman AF. But you guys have seen it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Advance forward.
Yeah, advance forward. But just the frame of him in front of the building that's burning, and of course it's making kind of like a Batman.
Yeah. I was going to mention that. Like I think he straight up murdered a whole floor of people.
I think so too.
like most of the time he tries to keep it non-lethal, but he didn't try very hard on that one.
I will say it's not the idea of a blue collar bat like Bruce Wayne is interesting to me. I don't know that it, at least in what we read, really capitalizes on that concept, because he's still got crazy gadgets, more or less. And he's otherwise just an angry dude who's still like, I mean, the logistics are different, but it doesn't, I don't know.
I guess I get the idea that he just like lives a really Spartan life. Like he literally pops in on his mom and eats her food kind of stuff. But like he must be spending all of his money on the Batman stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And, construction work is hard. But you make money too.
Yeah.
So.
And that gave them a reason that they could not blackmail, but like bribe him, because you can't bribe regular Batman. Well, I mean, you could try, but it wouldn't do any good. But this Batman, you might be able to.
That reminds
you think for a second that he's going to take the deal.
I didn't. I was very upset at the end of that book, but
no, I mean, he did take the deal.
Well,
didn't he?
I mean, he took the money, but he didn't.
Well, he didn't totally lay off, but he took the money and I think laid off until he had whatever suit or whatever it was he was building up with the money, and then he went after him, of course.
Yeah.
But he took the deal for a little bit. And I was going to ask you, Melanie, how you thought about that, because I know at a certain point when you were in the middle of reading it, you seemed unhappy. You're like, I don't think he would take the deal.
Yeah, I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I think that cheapens the whole thing. But I thought he basically blew up most of the money, which I mean is
Oh, you're
kind of
right. You're right. He did. You guys have read it more recently than I did.
yeah. Which I guess makes it a little bit better, but even so, why even play along? Just be just be a pain in the butt. That's what you should do.
And why waste the money? Rich Batman, poor Batman. He's still just wasting his money.
Yeah.
Not doing any really good things with it. Not things that would actually benefit whatever. The only other we ran through the notes I've written down. I will say, like, I did like some of the when Batman's fighting a lot for a big chunk of this. We get the narration from Alfred, who's at that point supposed to just observe and report. So that's where the Batman advance forward stuff comes from. I kind of like that framing.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I did have some issues with some of the way that things were laid out. Like, I think it's particularly in that book that you mentioned that is done by a different artist, because then like the lettering is done in boxes, but it's not Alfred because it's like a flashback. And so it's got to be like Bruce's journal kind of thing. And there were some like scale things that frustrated me. Like there's this moment where Bruce and his mom get together, and like sometimes she's decently tall, and then other times he just dwarfs her. Like there were some strange scale issues with some of them, and I'm like, is he a kid now? Is she a kid? What's going on here with the scale? Most of the time I like the art, but there were a few times I was just like, I don't understand how big Batman is. Is he like some kind of weird giant? And sometimes he is, but sometimes it's just like, he's just kind of a little bigger than a normal dude.
Especially when he's in the Batman suit. He's like unreasonably thick all through, but he still has like a little head. The artwork is not bad by any means.
No.
But there are some like design choices. The faces, especially Bruce's face, like they give him this little like young looking little face in the middle of his fat round head. It's not fat round, but I don't like his face. I don't like Bruce Wayne's face in this most of the time. It's very strange. And part 4 by the different artist, I actually, it's kind of ugly style, but I kind of liked it too. It was a much more
Kevin Eastman is what it
reminded me of. It's
Yeah.
more jagged, scratchy style than the rest of the art by Dragotta. And I think that was a flashback to, I did like his earlier Batman suit looked a little bit more like
basically a normal Batman suit. Yeah.
Right. But like with the red eyes, and he was hissing.
The
earliest one. Yeah.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
And he's like, the hissing's not working. That's not helping.
He had those little fangs that he wore. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. That was in part 4. I find it interesting that part 4 credits the writing differently. So obviously Snyder and Dragotta had plotted that out, but then he must not have just had the time to draw it. So
I think that he was an angry, less effective Batman because his mom was still alive. And you got to be an orphan, or it just doesn't. You're not the same kind of superhero. That's just how it is. Unless you're an alien.
The only other note I had written down was the epilogue, which sets up some kind of weirdo Joker Quado situation.
Kind of you're a Joker.
Yeah. It was real weird looking.
Like, what is that? Like a baby face on him, on his chest?
Yeah,
he's got like a weird, like,
it's like open your mind,
some kind of Miskatonic Cthulhu Cronenberg necklace.
It is interesting. It sets Joker up because he pops up earlier at some point as like the super rich villain. I don't know if he's a tech guy or what he is, but yeah. The other thing is, what were those humanoid creatures that hung out with Sionis?
I don't
Those were
know.
not
I
people.
like that whole gang was confusing to me. It was like, wait, but they're basically like those one, like, was it Ahsoka? They just have like weird tendril head
Yeah.
things. Like are they just mutants? What's going on here?
And one was like straight up like baby body, but was
Yeah,
also using a flamethrower at some point. So I'm guessing it was not a baby.
yeah. They called him the kid, and then there were like this giant, like Daft Punk globes or whatever.
Maybe that's what happens when you download your consciousness into a robot. They give you like,
Yeah.
you want to be the little baby robot or the weird tendril head robot?
I
I
don't.
will say that I think I took this version of the Black Mask a little more seriously than the just straight up mobster one, but I kind of liked this version of the Black Mask a
Yeah.
little more,
Yeah.
but it was definitely different.
I like that. He was a just. There's not a lot of. I mean, not to say there's not depth to him at all, but he was just a villain. He just
Yeah.
seemed like evil. But I do like the like. I'm gonna have the cops come in onto my ship, and then I'm going to murder a famous boxer, strangle him
Oh
out
yeah,
in front
that
of them,
was a
and they're not gonna
Bibbo
do anything
too.
about it.
Like
Yeah.
a Superman character, you know? I'm like, wow, okay.
Right.
That's what we're gonna do with Bibbo.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Very different without going like steampunk Batman or like Russian Superman, like a very different vibe, but still very Batman overall.
Yeah. I could see that. I don't know like what universe I would put him in, but it's akin to like the Robert Pattinson Batman in a sense. Like that, I got that same vibe off of the Alfred. Like that's the first thing I thought of was
Right.
what's his
Right.
name?
Andy.
Yeah, Andy Serkis. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought of that Alfred.
Definitely a more gruff and gritty type Alfred character.
You would think that the poorer Batman would be more focused on the corruption than street crime, maybe, but maybe I am wrong too with that. I don't know.
Right.
Well, I think this one has autism, so it's it's different. You know, you got it from Tylenol or whatever RFK says. This is not political.
This is not a political show.
It's not political, but I feel like yeah, it was like he couldn't figure out his bat bridge design until he considered people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, the missing
I
ingredient was
saying.
people. You know, like he doesn't
Right.
get people, so. And he always just thinks he doesn't need his friends or whatever. And then his mom is apparently conspiring with the Catwoman.
Yeah.
Some of that tracks for how Batman's often portrayed. He's always pushing away the Bat family, but yeah, no, that's interesting. You're right. That's an interesting angle to it. And maybe part of it is the story. Like when you got a gang of murderous thugs, like you kind of have to just beat up street gang people. But yeah, I think I already said it. But the blue collar aspect did not play into it as much, other than his backstory, as I expected and kind of hoped. But maybe that's different going forward. Also, and I think Jesse, you said it before we were either recording or before we started this segment. About Bruce Wayne's mom being braver, more courageous than Batman.
Yeah. She's just like, she knows that Gordon is worth $1 million and she's ready to stand in front of him. And then you come to find he's also worth $1 million because she's the deputy mayor.
So what I don't think we like rated comic books, but so where do you guys land on this? Is this good? Would you read more? Nah.
It's okay.
It's compelling.
I wouldn't choose it myself.
Right.
And I probably won't read more unless you make me. So
I don't like how you say it that way. Oh, would you recommend this? That's the question that I always used to ask. And Melanie would be like, well, like to my mom? No. And I'm like, your mom doesn't read comics. You don't have to answer that every time.
Okay. Besides your mom, is there anyone you would recommend this to? No.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What?
Oh. Would you recommend this?
To anyone? Any human?
If somebody who likes to read comics, or somebody who's into Batman, I would, yes.
Okay. But not your mom.
Not my mom. Not anybody I know really, besides like you. Nobody I know reads anything, you know.
That's true, man. Like I probably wouldn't have even read this, except this is something I would read, but
right.
Yeah.
No, this is.
But there's so much Batman out there, like there's a lot of Batman out there that we could read. And you talked about a different one earlier, so
right. Yeah, I mean, obviously, okay, so the show fell off of comics, but I fell off of comics myself for a long time, for a long, long time. And part of my struggle, I know I could abandon Batman if I needed to, but part of my struggle was like the Batman, was it the metal and all that? Like that crossover was huge, went on for a long time, and I couldn't, like, I struggled to find an endpoint. I tried starting at the beginning. It was one of those events that was just so big and so many tie-ins, and I was not keeping up with comics at that point, that I was just like, I can't get back into it. But right now is kind of like they just did Batman #1. They just hit the reset button on the numbering. So we talked about that on this. I talked about that on the stream the other day. Batman Dark Patterns, which I mentioned, I'm reading, is its own like non-canon Elseworlds thing. And it's like, okay, well, that's all perfect because none of it really requires me to know what's been going on the last 7 years.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that I guess I could also just not read Batman and read something else, but it seems like there hasn't been a new Swamp Thing for a long time, so I'm not going to do any of that either.
Yeah, man. What's up with that?
Yeah.
I know. I was looking into that the other day. It's been a while. It's been a while since they've had any.
Well, but probably part of James Gunn's DC gun reforms was draining the swamp.
Right, DC gun reforms. Oh man, we watched. We're getting a little off topic, but we watched a video just before the show today, just about basically like the journey from him getting canceled to where he's at now. Speaking about cancel culture. And I know we said it, I've said it before on the show. We talked about it when it happened, but he came out of that whole situation just on top of everything. Like he came out way better, I think, than he went in. Arguably, him getting canceled was probably the best thing that ever happened to him because now he's running DC, or the creative equivalent to Feige for DC. And
it was interesting to hear that he originally wanted Batista for the Peacemaker character, and Batista has recently just commented on it and said, like, thank goodness it didn't work out because like John Cena is so perfect for it. Like my version wouldn't have been nearly this good.
I agree.
I agree too.
I mean, I like the guy, or the little bit I've known him from the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, but yeah, no, he wouldn't have done as good a job.
We were just talking about that specifically, him specifically, because of that video we were watching. And it's like, I like Batista, but he doesn't have the widest range. And as we've said on the show a couple times, John Cena has a surprisingly good range, and he has great comedic chops. And
there's certain things comedically that he can do maybe better than Batista. Maybe not even better, just different. Like I think you can plunk John Cena in the middle of an orgy scene and he'll just play it straight like he doesn't notice it's happening.
Yeah.
And it makes sense somehow with John Cena's version of the Peacemaker. I struggle to see a universe where you put Dave Batista in that exact same scene.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Not that Batista's bad. He was in that not the last one because there's a new one, but the second Knives Out movie, I think.
Right.
Which was surprising to me, but he was good in that. I don't know. I do like seeing guys like him put in movies where you wouldn't necessarily expect to see them, and
Right.
And do well.
You give him someone like James Gunn, you give him somebody good, and you're going to get a great performance out of him because he's got it. He's got it in him. You just got to draw it out.
All right, we should end the Grawlix podcast portion of this. Keep it short so I don't have to edit much. Also, these won't be super tightly edited. But well, podcast listeners, stream people stick around, but podcast listeners, thanks for listening. We'll be back in a month-ish. Did we decide what we were going to read next? I can't remember if it was going to get handed off to Jesse or Melanie.
I don't know that we discussed it.
I know Melanie had something in mind, but I don't know which one of you guys was up next.
Well, if you know, then let's do Melanie's.
Okay, hold on. I got to see what it's called.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you had something specific.
I do, but I'm trying to see what it's actually called. Uzumaki.
Oh, right.
That's
a manga.
It's a manga, yeah. I believe it means spirals or something like that.
Yeah, Jesse, you're aware of what it is. There was an animated series based on it recently that people were all excited about, but then apparently the animation was it ran on Adult Swim, was kind of junk.
Dog poo.
Yeah, it's by Junji Ito. Some horror manga.
Okay.
There's 3 volumes.
Yep. It was a big comic spirits from 1998 to 1999.
Okay.
Yep.
So will we hit what, like first volume or?
Yeah, I'm trying to see how, like, what we're looking at in terms of.
It's Japanese horror.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All 3 volumes. The 3-in-1 deluxe edition is 648 pages. So we're not going to do that whole thing.
The art looks crazy, though. That's part of the reason I wanted to read it.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But we will be reading some of that.
If you don't mind.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's do it. Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, hey, before anything is amazing, amazing. Thanks for listening, podcast people. Glad to be on the audio feed again. We missed you.
Yep.
Grawlix Podcast.
And if you missed us, keep looking. Yeah, go to grawlixpodcast.com, GRAWLIX podcast.com or electronicmediacollective.com. Yeah, it's a mouthful.
We're still going to be streaming live also most weeks. I can't promise every week, but most weeks. So, like, even if there's not a new podcast episode, people used to come chat us up during the live streams. Come chat us up.
I mean, like, losing the chat is tough.
Losing the chat.
I don't know if there is a chat. There may be a chat somewhere.
There is a chat.
Maybe have someone watching, but I don't know.
Toggle the chat.
That I would know if they said anything, if they put comments. So
they haven't. There is a YouTube chat, but there's nobody there. We're doing good, guys. So
awesome. Come on down.
Okay, that's over. And it was amazing.
It was amazing.
You know what else is amazing?
What?
Perseverance. And last year in July, it happened upon Cheveya Falls while exploring the Bright Angel Formation on Mars. It collected a sample from the dry riverbed, and last week NASA announced that it contains a potential biosignature. But as with all science, more data and further study are required. But there is a strong chance that the substance has a biological origin. The combination of chemical compounds found in the Bright Angel Formation would have been a rich source of energy for microbial metabolism. And the substance appeared near colorful spots dotting the rocks. The spots are reaction fronts where chemical and physical reactions occurred. And those reactions could have been created without life, but it would require sustained high temperatures or acidic conditions. And the rocks don't show any signs of either. So we may have found evidence of life on another planet, but we'll have to wait for confirmation. And since the research is being done by a robot on another planet, it may take a while for us to actually say definitively. But exciting! Life on other planets, perhaps.
It's Swamp Thing.
Yeah. it's Swamp Thing. He's just hanging out. He's just like, I'm just gonna put stuff in the Mars rover's path and be like, hey, check out this dotty rock.
yeah.
Dotty, swampy like the potty.
Cool.
Yep.
Life on Mars.
I also heard recently that we're gonna start mining the moon for helium.
I don't know why we're already. We haven't even figured out cold fusion yet. I mean, when we do, yeah, that makes sense. But not till then. And besides, we're gonna end up with Moon, the movie.
Yeah, where there's just like the same guy over and over. Had been up there for years.
I gotta feel like that's got to be some sticky political territory if Americans just start mining on the moon.
I agree.
Like, did we just claim the moon? Is it like a colony?
We put our flag
in it.
Like
a U.S. territory? Well, I know. I mean, like, does that count? Like, oh well, we colonized the moon. It's ours.
I mean, probably they're probably going to say it does. That's probably why they put a space force up there, or created the space force, or whatever the heck.
Yeah.
Just dumb, but
the show's not political.
No,
the show is not political.
That's the overarching theme of tonight.
The moon is for everyone.
The moon is for, that sounds like moon socialism, and I won't have it.
Hey, when the moon hits your eye like a big, it's all pizza pie.
Yeah,
that's socialism.
That's socialism. All right. I don't know what else to do other than wrap the show up. Jesse, you got anything you want to mention? You moon socialist. You got anything you want to mention before we bounce out of here?
I've been called lots of things, but moon socialism is not the one that I
communist.
Communist.
Oh, there you go.
Moon, yeah, communist. I did mention this last week, I believe, but I got a couple of poems put into the book. I have the book in my hand now, so like, yeah, so I'll actually sell a couple of those. That'll be kind of fun.
Is there a place?
Other than that, not really anything new.
Is there a place people can get that?
Oh yeah, I mentioned it last week and wasn't even going to tell you this week. You can find it on like the D20 networks, the Drive-Through RPG,
right.
Drive-Through Fiction. I think they have another one. It's like Drive-Through Cards. Basically, if you go to Drive-Through spelled like a drive-through, not like the whole word,
right?
Drive THRU, drive-through-fiction.com, and then search for Collective Verses, and it's the most recent volume 5 is the one that I have 3 poems in. So
nice.
If you do, I'll actually get a piece of that because I'm considered an author, like I got creator sharing or whatever on that. So
let's all go buy one and we can make fun of him, call him a nerd for being a poet.
I was just I read none of your poems rhyme.
Oh yeah, we did talk about this last week, didn't we? Yeah. Awesome. Melon, you got anything?
No, sorry.
No, it's okay. You got anything you want to mention before we bounce out of here?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Helix Rock Radio. Hi. I'll be over there again tomorrow night, roughly the same time, except probably on time because I don't know, because I do. I'll be listening to some extreme metal, some death metal, some thrash, some black metal, deathcore. Come join me. Listen to some metal. I do that every Friday night over there for Edge of the Abyss. And I'm trying to get Edge of the Abyss syndicated out to some other online stations just to get it out to more ears. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Rockradio.live. Speaking of Rockradio.live, Helix Rock Radio. Thank you for listening, everybody. We're gonna bounce out of Helix first tonight.
See ya. Not political.
Wouldn't want to be yeah, not political. Helix being the only
socialist.
Helix being the only place where I was explicitly told at one point that like just no politics.
No politics.
We're not political, so it doesn't
We're
matter.
not political.
We're not political podcast, so we're not political.
All right. See you, Helix Rock Radio. Have a good evening. All right. Hey, YouTube. Hey, YouTube.
Hey, YouTube, don't at me, bro.
Don't at me.
We're not political, so don't shut us down.
Right. I don't have any good YouTube things anymore. YouTube's a mess. Fix your algorithm.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the last.